What if I told you that within the next few weeks, SpaceX could achieve something no one has ever done before? A Starship might be caught out of the sky by Mechazilla. A Falcon 9 rocket is about to crash into the moon. NASA's next flagship telescope is launching months ahead of schedule. Space stocks have been crushed, and in just a few days, millions of people across Europe will witness one of the most spectacular solar eclipses in decades. This is going to be an incredible week in space. Let's dive in. This is probably the most exciting Starship update since Flight 13. After the spectacular success of Ship 40, Elon Musk made perhaps his boldest statement yet. Unless we discover problems of the mission data review, SpaceX will attempt to catch the ship with the tower on the next flight. Think about that for a second. We have already watched Mechazilla catch a 70-meter tall super heavy booster. Now imagine catching a 50-meter tall Starship, returning from orbit, descending through Earth's atmosphere at hypersonic speed. If Flight 14 succeeds, it won't just be another test flight. It could completely redefine reusable spaceflight. And there's not a huge development. SpaceX has officially filed a request with the FAA for a completely new re-entry profile. Instead of splashing down in the Indian Ocean, future Starships would re-enter over the northern Pacific before returning directly to Starbase, Texas. To make this possible, SpaceX proposed several new contingency landing areas across the Pacific Ocean, including expanded emergency zones near Hawaii and the Central Pacific, an additional Southeast Pacific contingency area, and an entirely new Northern Pacific emergency landing region. These are not permanent landing pads. They are emergency recovery zones that would only be used if the vehicle cannot safely continue to Starbase or if a tower catch has to be aborted. In other words, Starship is finally preparing to come home. Another fascinating detail is just how incredibly accurate Ship 40's landing actually was. According to Elon Musk, the vehicle touched down with such precision that it would have been caught by the tower had one been waiting beneath it. It's honestly astonishing. And here's another milestone. For the first time ever, SpaceX launched a real recovery operation for an orbital Starship. The offshore vessels Normand Ranger and Skimmer Tide were dispatched toward the splashdown area in the Indian Ocean to recover Ship 40. At the time of recording, SpaceX has not yet officially confirmed whether the recovery has been completed, but if engineers manage to bring Ship 40 back, they will be able to inspect the heat shield, engines and structure in unprecedented detail. Every recovered Starship accelerates the path toward full reusability. Flight 14 is shaping up to become one of the most important Starship flights ever. On August 5th, a spent Falcon 9 upper stage will slam into the moon. Normally, crashing a rocket into another celestial body doesn't sound like good news. But scientists couldn't be more excited. The stage, originally launched in January 2025, is expected to impact near the Einstein and Bell craters. The collision could create a massive cloud of lunar dust reaching up to 100 kilometers into space. The impact flash itself will probably be difficult to observe from Earth, but the enormous dust plume may remain visible for several minutes through larger telescopes. NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter will photograph the impact site before and after the collision, helping scientists better understand lunar dust, impact physics, and potential hazards for future Artemis astronauts. Sometimes, crashing something into the moon is actually good science. NASA's next generation observatory is almost here. The Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope is now scheduled to launch on August 30th aboard a Falcon Heavy, almost 9 months earlier than originally expected. Many people ask me, isn't this just another James Webb? No, not at all. Think of it like photography. James Webb is your telephoto lens. It zooms incredibly deep into one tiny section of the universe, revealing breathtaking details of the first galaxies, black holes and distant exoplanets. Roman is the exact opposite. It's the ultra-wide-angle lens. Instead of studying one tree, Roman maps the entire forest. Its field of view is roughly 100 times larger than Hubble's, allowing it to image around 2 billion galaxies, generate over 500 terabytes of science data every year, and help answer some of the astronomy's biggest questions about dark matter, dark energy and the evolution of the universe. Together, Webb reveals the details, Roman reveals the big picture. And combining both datasets could revolutionize astronomy for decades. Now let's talk about the markets. It has been a painful couple of months for space investors. Rocket Lab, Intuitive Machines, Firefly and many other space companies have dropped sharply after an extraordinary run earlier this year. So, was it all just hype? I don't think so. Many analysts believe this is primarily a valuation reset. After explosive gains, expectations simply became too high. Higher interest rates, profit-taking, uncertainty around government spending and demanding valuations all pushed the sector lower. But here's the interesting part. The long-term story hasn't changed. Launch demand keeps increasing. Defense spending continues to grow. Satellite constellations are expanding. Commercial lunar missions are accelerating. And Starship hasn't even entered operational service yet. Does that mean we've reached the bottom? Nobody knows. But compared to 2 months ago, many investors would probably agree that today's prices look a lot more attractive than they did at the peak. This Tuesday marks another historic milestone. SpaceX will hold its very first public earnings call. Wall Street will be listening very carefully. How profitable is Starlink today? How much revenue is generated by launch services? How quickly is Starship progressing toward commercial operations? How much is SpaceX investing in AI infrastructure and massive data centers? And perhaps most importantly, what does management expectation over the next few years? Personally, I think the market may focus too much on quarterly numbers. SpaceX has never optimized for the next quarter. It has optimized for the next decade. Starlink is funding Starship. Starship is designed to make life multi-planetary. That vision won't be measured in one earnings report. Still, I will cover all the key announcements and what they really mean in the next week's episode. Speaking of the future, Elon Musk announced that SpaceX is hiring exceptional engineering and skilled trades talent to build and operate what he calls the world's most powerful AI supercomputer clusters, both on Earth and eventually beyond Earth. Applications are even asked to send just 3 bullet points proving exceptional ability. Sounds exciting? Absolutely. But let's be honest, working at SpaceX isn't your typical 9-to-5 job. Long hours, extreme pressure, weekends, mission first. Personally, I think I'd rather stay at Swisscom. Finally, don't miss one of this year's greatest astronomical event. On August 12th, a total solar eclipse will sweep across Greenland, Iceland, northern Spain, Portugal and parts of Russia. Here in Zurich, we will experience around 99% coverage. Now that sounds incredible, but trust me, 99% is not the same as 100%. Only inside the narrow path of totality does the sun disappear completely. The sky suddenly turns dark, temperatures drop, birds stop singing, and the sun's breathtaking corona becomes visible. NASA will livestream the event while also flying research aircraft through the moon's shadow and launching scientific balloons to study Earth's atmosphere. I still remember the last total eclipse over Europe in August 1999. My friends and I, we drove from Zurich to just outside Paris to stand inside the path of totality. And to this day, it remains one of the most unforgettable moments of my life. If you have never experienced a total solar eclipse, put it on your bucket list. So, will Flight 14 become the first Starship tower catch? Will SpaceX successfully recover Ship 40? What surprises will we hear during the company's first ever earnings call? And are we witnessing the beginning of the next great era of reusable spaceflight? We will find out very soon. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next week for another episode of This Week in Space.